Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade with the monthly Flesh and Blood sales data video with data scraped off of TCG Player. This time covering through March of 2023. And first up, as usual, welcome to Wraith Unlimited, Arcane Rising Unlimited, and Crucible of War Unlimited. I do not cover the first edition boxes of those sets because they are too expensive and do not sell often enough to matter. On the charts here, I have zoomed back to 3 months, so the horizontal axes cover from January 1st through the end of March, just to show 3 months of performance together. And what I want to draw your attention to first is the 7-day moving average prices to really underline how quickly the prices have gone up since the beginning of the year. Welcome to Wraith Unlimited boxes are up 70%. Arcane Rising boxes are up a mere 18% in the last 3 months. And Crucible of War Unlimited boxes are up 70% also. Now, of course, clicking over to the month-over-month table to see specifically how March did compared to February. And I apologize, as usual, MATLAB does not allow you to change the font size of these numbers. Go get on your big monitor to see them. So what I have is February box sales numbers, March box sales number, and the percent difference month over month. And then the same for the average box sale price from February, the average price from March, and the change in the month over month. And then I just multiply those two together to get the total revenue for February, the total revenue for March, and the month-over-month change in total revenue. And of course, what you see is these products obeying the demand curve. When the price goes up, the sales go down. So we've seen a drop in Welcome to Wraith Unlimited boxes again this month, a big drop in Crucible of War Unlimited boxes, as again, these have just about doubled in the last 3 to 4 months. So that price memory is really hitting people. But I would warn you, if you have somehow managed to stay negative on Flesh and Blood all the way up to this point, but you're somehow still listening to this video, you should still be buying today. These prices will look absolutely rock bottom compared to where they will be in 3 or 5 years from now. Moving on to Monarch First Edition, Tales of Aria First Edition, and Everfest First Edition. Again, on the 3-month chart, you can see how Monarch First Edition has absolutely blasted off, and even this kind of understates it since we're already at the 4th day of April, and this is a trailing 7-day moving average. So looking out on TCG Player today, the next marginal box of Monarch First Edition is already up at $149 right now. Something else you can notice from this plot that's a good takeaway, something that I harp on a lot, is if you look over here, you see this big leg up here for the yellow line of Everfest First Edition, and the same with the red line of Tales of Aria First Edition. That was the bonus box sale that we got about a week ago on TCG Player, and those big legs up in number of boxes sold, that's the smart, quiet investors coming in and buying while everything is still cheap. That's something that I talk about a lot, that you need to essentially identify what is going to be moving up in the future, and you need to front run the market on it. And you can see that there. Right here, Tales of Aria sales were up 81% over the previous month, and Everfest First Edition was up 139% on a boxes sold basis over the previous month, while the prices were flat. And I can tell you, this is not some kind of new surge of people saying, hey, these are the hot new sets. Everfest came out in February of 22. Tales of Aria came out in September of 21. From the play perspective, these are old sets. They've had 3 more releases, plus the history pack, plus the greatest battles, plus all the other blitz decks, everything else that's come out since these sets. This is investors stepping in and seeing, oh, hey, Monarch First Edition took the giant leg upwards. These will follow soon enough. And they're coming in and laying in their supply of it. So don't be last. Don't wait until it already has moved up on you. And you can see the Monarch First Edition went up another 28% in price just over the course of March. Taking a quick look at History Pack Volume 1 over its entire life, going back to pre-release during April of 2022, we see a scant 950 boxes sold on TCG Player over that whole time, with only 77 of those in March. And finally, the 3 most recent sets, Uprising, Dynasty, and Outsiders. I've changed the horizontal axes to line them up to the same relative release day so that we can compare them at the same points in their life cycles. And something I've been saying for a couple of months now is that we really want to see a new growth in released sets in terms of cumulative spend and or boxes sold, and we're finally starting to see that with the yellow line of Outsiders here on the cumulative spend plot. It is above where Dynasty was at the same relative point in its life cycle. Now, it's not as high as Uprising, but Uprising had this huge horizontal leg up from back when LSS and TCG Player did pre-release packs together. And I don't know why they stopped doing that, but you could imagine that this would have stolen some sales away from other platforms, away from local game stores, but also some of these sales would have been sales that would have happened anyway on TCG Player. So I don't think you can discount the entirety of this horizontal bar if we just say, hey, those were the pre-release packs that don't exist anymore. Some of that would have remained here. So we would like to see the sales recover above that from what Uprising had last year when it came out, but to see now that that Outsiders has surpassed Dynasty at the same relative point in its life cycle is a really good sign going forward. That's something we've wanted to see. But again, these are only data from TCG Players, so we can't capture things like shifts away from online sales towards LGSs. Maybe there's some of that going on. It's hard to say. Opening up the month-over-month table for these sets, we can, of course, see 785 boxes sold. Most of Outsiders' pre-release period was in March. Its release date was March 24th, so it had most of its pre-release period in March and then 1 week of full release. Also, it's very nice to see that Dynasty boxes sold more in March than February, even though that set is now several months old, and Uprising boxes stayed flat. That's also actually really good to see because it's becoming an older set. There's more new, exciting products to take its thunder away, and yet it maintained its sales pace in March relative to February. Lastly, as usual, we just have to say LSS does a great job controlling distribution, controlling print run sizes, controlling the price, making sure there's not these crazy price swings all over the place on new products coming into the market. You know, WotC's had 30 years to try to figure it out and can't figure out how to do that. I guess it's just really hard or something, but LSS gets it right. You have stable prices month after month after month of these newer products. And finally, I like to bring up the month-over-month table with all the products on it shown at once and add up the revenues of February and compare them with the revenues of March. When you do that, what you get is that total February revenue of Flesh and Blood sealed boxes sold on TCG Player was $161,000. March revenue was $239,000. So the amount of money flowing into Flesh and Blood via TCG Player increased by 48% in March over February. Really a good sign, and like I keep warning people, don't stay negative too long. This is a growing game, it's very well managed, it's fun to play, and it's going to be around for the long term. So let me know what you think, guys. Anything else you'd like to see, comments, questions, things I got wrong, other data sources I could incorporate, theories you have, anything else. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade.